Alice, if a veteran has TDIU or a total disability based on individual unemployability, can the veteran's spouse still get DIC, which is Dependency Indemnity Compensation, after the veteran passes away?
Yes, actually, they can. In order to achieve DIC after a veteran passes away, the veteran must have been service-connected for their cause of death, or they must have been totally disabled, totally rated for 10 or more years, and TDIU counts as being totally disabled.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's important for us to remember that the TDIU benefit and the DIC benefit are two separate benefits, right? And so at the time the veteran passes, the TDIU benefit that they were receiving stops.
Right.
And so then it's really on the veteran's spouse, in most cases the spouse, to then apply for the DIC benefit, right? Like VA is not going to...
Yeah, VA is not going to catch it themselves.
Yeah.
The spouse is going to want to apply using the Form 21P534EZ. Another thing to note, it's not going to be the same monetary amount for DIC.
That's a big one,
it's
right?
Granted, and it is a huge difference.
It's a big difference.
Too. I think it's like about $1,700 a month right now if DIC is awarded.
It is. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the phone with clients. Unfortunately, it's usually, a surviving spouse.
Yep.
And they've come to us, I know you too, and they expect that the TDIU benefit that was awarded and has been being paid out during the veteran's life will just continue on after the veteran passes. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. As you said, VA doesn't automatically extend TDIU or extend TDIU at all. After the date of death, the veteran spouse has to apply using the 534 form. VA won't automatically grant that on their own. And the benefit is definitely less than what oftentimes, the veteran spouse was used to receiving as a income each month.
But you should get the month of death award at least. But still, after that, you'll see a big drop in the amount paid.
And I know you had said that in order to qualify for DIC, the veteran's surviving spouse has to obviously apply. The veteran needs to have been totally disabled for a period of 10 years prior to the date of death. There's an added benefit potentially, right?
The kicker.
The kicker, yes.
The kicker
as it's known.
Yeah. So if the spouse and veteran were married for at least 8 years prior to the death, then there's a extra amount tagged on. I don't know it off the top of my head.
It's about $350 or so.
A few $100
on.
extra added on to the monthly amount. So you will still, hopefully get some compensation, but it's not going to be the same as TDIU. It's not going to be the same as being a veteran totally disabled, but at least there is something for a surviving spouse or child.
Absolutely. And here we're talking about obviously, TDIU having been awarded 10 years. Continuously 10 years, which can be important actually, because sometimes veterans can receive TDIU and then have it taken away for a couple years, and then sometimes granted again.
And I think also if you haven't, if you've had TDIU at least 5 years or more from date of discharge, that'll count too. Because unfortunately, a veteran may pass soon after being discharged. If they've been totally disabled for at least 5 years, they can also get, the surviving spouse could also receive DIC.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we're talking about DIC again, Dependency and Indemnity Compensation. There are two ways, I think it's important for us to acknowledge there are two different ways for a veteran's surviving spouse to qualify for DIC. We've been talking about, the 10-year totally disabled, in this instance, using TDIU to qualify for that. There's also, trying to have the veteran's cause of death, what they died from, service-connected. Essentially, one of the veteran's conditions that was service-connected or could be service-connected, establishing that as the cause of the veteran's death. And oftentimes, you'll look to the death certificate to determine what the cause of death was. And, either a representative like ourselves or, the veteran's spouse, if working on their own, they'll take a look at what the veteran's conditions were and what could be service-connected. And if one of those conditions that they had can be service-connected or was service-connected at the time of death, and you can link that condition to the cause of death, that's a second alternative avenue to achieving DIC.
Right.